Welcome to the Right On Sports Show. There are many sports shows out there, but this one is Right On. Four guys giving each other hell about sports and their sometimes questionable choice of teams. Featuring the head of the table, Kyle Wright, the king of shit takes, Marcus Weisner, the show's resident asshole, Nick Gurley, and finally, doing all the dirty work, the show bitch himself, Drew Gorman. How these guys all get along, we may never know. But let's try to find out. Let's get started.
Woo! Welcome in, everybody. Life is full of tender moments, but we are not locked out here at the Right On Sports Show. I don't know what the hell I was trying to say. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, listening, whatever you are doing. Make sure you guys give us a share there on Facebook. And if you're listening on Anchor, or through Anchor, I should say, through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, however you're listening, make sure you leave us a review because that goes a long way. You could do that on Spotify now. That's big.
Yeah, no doubt.
So help us out on that end. Kyle right here with Nick Gurley, Drew Gorman, all the in-studio boys, having some issues on the Uber conference side of things, so no Marcus tonight. Guys, what do you think about the Super Bowl? Straight up, like just rate the game on a scale of 1 to 10. Drew, you look as clueless as you can be.
I'm trying to think.
Like I'm not supposed to talk to you.
I'm gonna give it.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
I'm gonna go off the Dave Portnoy scale and go with an 8.2.
8.2. Okay.
Like it was a good game.
Okay.
It wasn't super exciting. I honestly thought there was gonna be more points scored. I didn't realize that the Bengals were gonna come out, and I also didn't realize that the Rams were gonna have OBJ go down and then throw it to his replacement 1,000,000 times.
How weird was that?
It didn't make any sense.
Because they're not really, like, we've talked about this. It's not really a replacement because he's a totally different player. Like, I don't know if you had another player that you could have plugged in right there so that Van Jefferson could still be Van Jefferson.
No.
And then that game's probably not that close.
Van Jefferson might be the best number 3 wide receiver in all of NFL.
He's definitely going to be top 5 when you get into that conversation.
Yeah. But to me, they plugged in a OBJ 0.5 and it was terrible. They couldn't link up. You could tell Stafford was a step or two in front of him at all times. Overthrew him, underthrew him, all kinds of stuff the entire night. But just continuously forced him the ball. But guess what? Guess what happens when you got Cooper Kupp finally comes in and the game's on the line? I guess we'll throw it to Cooper Kupp.
I feel like, everybody takes these screenshots and everything of like, Jamar Chase beat Jalen Ramsey, blah, blah, blah. I wonder how open Cooper Kupp was that whole game and just never got the ball thrown to him. Because there's zero chance Eli Apple covered him for 3 quarters.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Zero chance.
No way. They never even showed him. Like, normally they're like, well, look at this guy. Like they did it with the last play of the game. They showed Ramsey looking like he fell down, and then Jamar Chase was open, and then they got sacked. Joe Burrow got sacked in the game.
They said the ball was already out of his hand, and he was turning around like it was a fumble, and that's why he went to the ground. So he didn't actually burn him. Like, because you could see in the screenshot the ball's in the air. Like, because Burrow's kind of getting wrapped up and, like, slings it, so they're thinking it's
he's already run out of the pocket. He was already okay.
So, I mean...
That makes more sense.
It does. Everybody does that.
I can say this. I thought... Now, I'm not going to say Jalen Ramsey played well, because he played like absolute hot dog water.
Yeah, I think he played as bad as you could have played on a rookie receiver.
Yeah, and honestly, he was getting...
cooked.
But he only gave up 61 yards.
3 catches for 59 yards was his stat, where Jamar Chase's stats being covered by Ramsey.
I saw something interesting. They had said during the broadcast, because he wasn't following Chase wherever he went. He went with, in their mind, the defensive coordinator, he went with who they thought each play was going to. And there were a couple times he was lined up against T. Higgins. There were a couple times that he was lined up against Tyler Boyd and Jamar Chase. And I think it played out well.
I think it kind of came into the situation where Chase lines up in the slot a lot, and you're not ever going to put your top corner covering the slot guy. You're just not. You got to have him on the edge.
I think that speaks more to Chase than anything else, because honestly, there's a lot of guys who can't play both.
Yeah.
Like they try, but they don't have that quickness, that explosion. Now, Jamar Chase has it on the outside, the inside. I guarantee that they could use him as a Deebo Samuel type, and he would do just fine.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's where the league's going to go now, though, because guys like Tyreek Hill, who's a very similar game right now, like because Jamar Chase looks a lot like Tyreek did for a while, and now people are starting to kind of figure out how to not really. You can't shut down Tyreek Hill, right? But you can limit him, and you can make somebody else beat you, which I think in a way is what the Rams did, because Jamar Chase isn't the reason the Bengals were in that game. Really, that big play to T. Higgins was the reason they were in the game, and we could talk about the logistics of it, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. But the touchdown to T. Higgins was the reason they were in the game. Like Jamar wasn't.
I agree. I mean, T. Higgins got what, 4 catches for 100 yards or something like that?
And like 70 of it was on one.
Was on one play should have been an offensive pass interference.
There were a couple should have been penalties in that game.
There were several.
On both teams.
So I can say this. I can name several that were not called against the Bengals.
I know that game was called all Bengals until the last drive.
See, but did you not like the hold call? Because I thought it was definitely a hold.
I thought it was definitely a hold.
Okay.
Did you think? The first one on the last drive, the first one, no.
Yeah, it was definitely a hold.
The second one, yes.
Well, the second one was obviously. That's not even controversial.
But the first one,
I thought the first one, he actually...
The first one looked a little more... I won't disagree that he did tug, but it looked a whole lot like a ticky-tacky call after the whole game before.
Never heard anything called a ticky-tacky call.
The whole game before...
Ticky-tack foul.
Exactly. But the whole game before, they are literally letting them play.
See, I heard that all night.
Letting
when
them play.
They're letting them play.
I hate
Dude,
that.
That's not the game. You don't get to grab somebody by the face mask, not get a call, not get a penalty on it, and then them say, "Oh, well, they're letting them play.
If
they're
that
just
was
letting them
allowed,
play. That's
could you
ridiculous."
imagine how dominant Aaron Donald would be just grabbing dudes by the face mask and slinging them.
He does that
aside?
anyway. Not during the whistle, but
Right,
he does that anyway.
That dude's something else, man.
It was funny. Like even I can't even remember the guy's name that did it, but somebody threw a punch on the Bengals.
He hit Aaron Donald,
and hit Aaron Donald in the face, and still didn't get a penalty. Oh, they're letting them play. Oh no, this is the Super Bowl. That's not football,
right? You let them play, but you can't let them get away with punching the other team. Like you can let them get away with. Maybe you do let them get away with that hold on Cooper Kupp. The first one, of course, not the second. The second one was way bad.
Oh yeah,
and you do let them get away with that hold that Ramsey had there in the first quarter. Like little things like that. Okay, we're letting them play. Well, you grab somebody, sling them down by their face mask, and that's the only reason you score a touchdown. That's not really letting them play. That's a whole different level of like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know, man. Maybe you add more officials to the big games like this.
I think it was I think the refs, because every play, each ref has a certain area that they're looking at, and they are looking at that the whole entirety until the whistle is blown, and the ref who was positioned to that play. Maybe he didn't see.
Eyes should have been on that. The ball was in the air,
yeah,
and it was going at why is everybody not watching that play?
There's only one person that shouldn't be, and that's the person watching the quarterback, just in case somebody hits the quarterback.
The line judges.
That should be the only person that didn't. Yeah. And honestly, I did see this, that there was a couple of times that I saw the Rams line up offsides, and they never called it. I did see that, which that was probably them just giving it back to the Bengals from the first.
You sense the irony in Bengals fans bitching about there not being false starts called.
Yeah, because they have like 7 against the Titans.
Yeah, that's the only reason you got in this position was because of these calls. Whatever.
Well, as a Saints fan, I was hoping they weren't going to throw the flag on that last drive about a pass interference, but we won't talk about that.
Oh, poor guy. You're in such disarray. And I think like the thing that hurts Drew the most is that the Vegas odds-on favorite to be the Tampa Bay quarterback next year is Jameis Winston.
Yep. Is he?
Yeah. Yep. The odds-on Vegas favorite. It's Jimmy Garoppolo by a slim margin now, but it was Jameis yesterday. It's flip-flopping.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, that doesn't mean anything. And if
it doesn't mean shit.
But if Winston goes back, he's going to get very disappointed because they're not going to give you the team that they gave Tom Brady. It's not going to happen.
I think he would be foolish to go back.
I do too.
Like going back to a toxic relationship.
Go to the Saints.
Well,
I don't know. Now that y'all that's not a bad choice.
I would go to
for
Pittsburgh.
Either one of those two guys, Jimmy G or Jameis Winston, because
any quarterback on the market right now.
Now, y'all have no running back.
Oh my
I mean, because obviously he throws the best hands in the NFL. I mean,
he was the only person to hit someone at the Pro Bowl.
I mean, dude,
Good Lord.
I tried to watch the Pro Bowl. I went over to my in-laws' house,
bad.
tried to watch it. She had it on. My mother-in-law had it on, and I was like, this is the first time I've watched it in several years, and I was like, this is bad.
Do you think the Pro Bowl would be more exciting if they just said it was a flag football game?
I think it would be funner. Take the pads off.
Yeah.
Everybody just run an actual flag football game right
Yeah, an actual flag football game.
It'd be a lot more fun, I think.
Like you don't no offensive line, no defensive line, or maybe
7 on
3.
7.
Maybe 3. You get 3 offensive linemen and you run like a 7-on-7 scenario.
See, I think a 7-on-7 would be pretty cool, and then you have like a
And then the linemen can run out for passes, and it gets them more involved. It's more fun that
Big
way.
man love.
See, I was thinking more along the lines of like do like an Oklahoma drill, which is
God.
them hitting each other. But
Pads off. Take your helmet off, you bitch. Oh, my goodness. All right, so let's talk about the Rams. All right, so after this year, we've got a lot of questions. We've got a big free agent list here that the Rams have that Mr. Drew Gorman put in there. They've got a lot of big names on this list, most notably, obviously, Von Miller, Odell Beckham Jr. From there, they're returning everybody else. Sony Michel.
It's mainly on their offensive line. They're losing a good set of snaps. Like they break it down into percentages.
I see that.
Brian Allen, their center, played 82.90% of their snaps, and Austin Corbett, their right guard, played 99.20% of their snaps.
Andrew Whitworth is probably retiring.
Yeah, so that's 3 starters on the offensive line that they're about to lose, and plus Austin Corbett, possibly. Yeah. But Austin Corbett and Brian Allen being 27 years old, coming off a Super Bowl victory, I'd say go get them.
Yeah, I'm saying
do whatever you got to do.
Those guys are going to be hot commodities for a lot of teams in the NFL that are looking for that guy, especially
Like the
being a
Bengals?
center. The Dolphins have a lot of guys. The Bengals. Holy crap, that's a good example. The Bengals, they're like middle of the pack with Cap.
You know what? This just in, I'm pretty certain that the Bengals just put it out there that saying that they have 5 job vacancies.
Yeah.
All of them from left tackle to right tackle.
Yeah. There are plenty of spots available on that roster right now.
Yeah.
Honestly. But here we go. So what are the likelihoods that the Rams run it back? Because we've heard the rumors. We've heard the gossip about Sean McVay might not be back. We heard Aaron Donald might retire. I think that kind of got thrown out today during the Super Bowl parade. They looked at each other and said, we're going to run it back next year. So they'll both be back.
As of right now.
None of that's official.
Yeah.
But assuming they're going to be back, assuming Matthew Stafford's going to return, which is pretty obvious at this point, you'll have a healthy Darrell Henderson, a healthy Cam Akers for a full season. You'll have Robert Woods is not on this list, which is most interesting, right? You'll have Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Van Jefferson.
I thought he was a free agent after
I thought so too.
I thought that was the whole deal.
I guess not.
Well, then they can afford to lose OBJ, honestly, because Robert Woods is
just as good.
I would say Robert Woods is. I mean, it just sucks because OBJ's gonna have to come back from another torn ACL. That's what's bad.
I feel so bad for him, man.
I sent you guys a picture of something. I just wanted to show. You said the parade, so I wanted to make sure. Tyler Matzek put out a thing, the Braves pitcher.
That was oh my god.
He said that what was it? Something about like those championships aren't legitimate.
LeBron had posted something about the Dodgers, the Lakers, and
the Rams,
and
all
the Rams
LA teams
doing a big parade because it's the city of champions. And Matzek replied, he goes that we don't recognize your championship. It was a bubble ship.
Yeah. I could say this, that if you didn't know who Tyler Matzek is, or he was always this year became one of my top favorite players. And then as he just started to talk so much trash, he is legitimately probably a top 5 in my book on my favorite players.
That's why I love Trevor Bauer.
It's kind of hard to say that on air now based on
based on everything else,
on everything that we know.
That's why Trevor Bauer become one of my favorites. And then of course, conversation we have about Freddie Freeman. He went to the damn Dodgers of all teams.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh, okay. I thought you.
No.
Wait a second.
Bauer went to the Dodgers. That's
Going back to what you guys were saying about Robert Woods being a free agent, according to SportTrack.com, he has a potential out at 2022,
What the hell does that mean?
I have no idea.
Is it mutual or something?
But he is technically still under salary contract until 2025, and then in 2026 he is an unrestricted free agent.
How old is Robert Woods right now?
Going into the 2022 season, he will be 30 years old.
So
they're
age
the
as
same.
Odell.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a whole conversation that we should have at some point. Like, what do you do? You could probably get some
As we're having the conversation right now.
right now. Well, yeah, here we go. Like, what do you do here? Because you could probably get some commodities for Robert Woods.
Well, according to
I
this,
guess it just depends on his contract, really.
Yeah,
release your trade details.
they love this, by the way.
Oh,
Like
yes.
dead air. Yeah. Like
Yes.
we're not prepared whatsoever.
I thought he went in with some information.
Well, according to this, he has a no trade clause
Oh,
for
Well,
the.
they can waive that though. Like the player can
Yeah.
waive that.
yeah. I think Cooper
So there's
Kupp.
got to be some kind of a mutual option or something.
Cooper Kupp benefits from either one of them being there.
They have to go get somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, Cooper Kupp's not the guy that goes deep. OBJ is. Robert Woods is. And OBJ isn't so much right now.
Golly. I guess I would probably take OBJ over Robert Woods in this scenario then. Because Cooper Kupp is going to be the guy that catches the ball 15 to 20 yards downfield. You want to have an OBJ that can just burn right by him, man.
Yeah.
Catch
well,
the
that's
ball
what you have Van
and go.
Jefferson for at the same
You know
time.
who
though.
they could oh geez. I'm drawing a blank. He played for the Texans this year.
Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks. I mean that
Wouldn't that be a fun reunion?
yeah.
Oh,
Those
God.
things that you love so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
I know,
all
but-
worked out positively.
Yeah, but the problem the difference there is that Cooper Kupp wasn't the same then. Or
Right.
did they even have him? Or was that his rookie year? Had to have been his rookie year when
I think it might have been his rookie year.
Cooks
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was. He was very, very young. Matter of fact, he had a big game in that game. Maybe not. I don't remember. I know Brandon Cooks went down very early, and then it was the
Look,
worst
we haven't
Super
been here
Bowl
for
of all
2
time.
weeks. Y'all leave us alone.
Yeah, leave us alone. Okay, so what are the likelihood that the Rams get back? What is their biggest need to
Biggest
you?
need?
Like the biggest thing that they have to fix to get back next year?
They gotta
I'll
losing those offensive
Got
losing those offensive linemen. They've got to make sure that they keep Stafford upright and make sure that they keep the offense, keep it going. The argument could be made that no matter you got to keep Aaron Donald.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing they got to do for me is I mean, it's like a no-brainer with the offensive line, but I don't want to say that necessarily. Like, I want to go more specific. Let's get some run blockers so that we can give these guys this Darrell Henderson, this Cam Akers, and I don't know what they're going to do about Sony Michel, but if they're gonna need like a Sony Michel type, so I imagine he might end up re-signing. Can't imagine it'd be easy to leave a team that you just won a Super Bowl with. But like every team's kind of going to that guy. Like Cam Akers is going to be your runner, and maybe Henderson's your pass.
I was about to say Darrell Henderson.
Darrell Henderson would
can
be
do
your
that.
pass catcher in that. But
and they both have those 2 contracts, so I doubt
Yeah.
they go and get Sony
so
Michel.
they probably wouldn't re-sign Sony.
The problem is Sony Michel can kind of be both.
Yeah,
So if you put
Neither
him
one
as
of
the
those guys
runner,
can be both.
right? So you can, I guess you could go and get him because if you have one injury, which it's not like Cam Akers has ever gotten injured in his career.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like Darrell Henderson has ever gotten injured in his career.
Sony
Hey,
Michel.
it's not like Sony Michel's ever gotten injured in his career.
Why not have a committee? Why not have a good
You
committee
have
of
to.
3
It's
solid guys?
Just like
that's
a
how
running
you-
back to get injured.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's exactly how you have to play the running back position, though. Like, I mean, right now the running back position, you can run people to death, and then they're out in 6-7 years.
Like if we were talking about every team in the NFL, like their biggest, like the need, like Tennessee would be like, dude, let's make sure you keep Deontay Foreman around.
What's funny is Deontay Foreman got drafted in like the 7th round or something. It was like something late.
Far because he was in the same he was in a freaking loaded draft with Cook and McCaffrey, and
Right, and
Fournette.
then he got dropped by
To
several teams.
Houston.
And went to a practice squad and stuff like that. So and then he comes out and still puts up over 100-yard games.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hope they re-sign him and just keep on pushing.
I would definitely keep him around because I would say he's gonna make Derrick Henry more valuable. But so that's what I would say. We need to shore up that offensive line and start getting some run blocking going on because that would take a lot of heat off Stafford, who's going to be 35 by the time the season starts next year. You don't want him getting clunked around, but you also want him to be able to play his game. So if he's able to hand it off and get these guys some running room just to get past the trenches, because really Henderson, Sony, and Cam, like those are the guys. Like if you get past that first line, it's gonna be hard to bring them down from there.
I think get somebody on the other side of Jalen Ramsey.
Oh,
Get somebody on, because right now solid number 2 corner. Go get a veteran, whoever. I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna have to you let the entire NFL know that you are very weak when it comes to depth. When you had to go out and go get Eric Weddle. Now I can say this: Eric Weddle actually had a pretty good season.
Yeah.
J.C. Jackson, Levi Wallace, Carlton Davis, Kyle Fuller, Darius Williams from the Rams, Jason Verrett, Chris Harris, Patrick Peterson, just to name a couple free agent corners going into the offseason. Could you imagine J.C. Jackson and Jalen Ramsey on the same team?
That'd be awesome.
With Aaron Donald and maybe Von Miller re-signing?
Oh, you know who's going to be available? Eli Apple.
He's going to be doing he's going to be AT&T commercials. Yeah, this will provide better coverage than me.
Oh, my God.
I just made that up, by the way.
Wow. Oh, you sold me. I'm in.
Yeah, probably end up doing like a Cricket Mobile commercial.
Yeah.
Terrible coverage.
Boost Wireless.
Boost. We have Boost. Boost Mobile. For all right coverage in certain areas.
Oh, all right.
Oh, man.
Well, there go our sponsorships.
Yeah. Yeah.
Full disclosure, this episode is brought to you by
Us.
Yeah.
Me.
Nick, what
was it? In that that's Shake and Bake. Is that when he comes at the very end, he puts the Panther on the car? Me.
This episode's brought to you by Ted Cooper. Thank you, father-in-law.
He got a shout out.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
What you got for the Rams?
I already said it.
Oh, you already said it. Number 2 corner.
Jeez.
So let's go on to the Bengals.
Okay, we're going to avoid the offensive line. Let's go ahead and just offensive line is everyone's answers. Yeah. Let's go ahead and go with something different.
So let's change it up here a little bit. Let's stay away from the offensive line. Let's talk
Who are they losing,
crap
Drew?
about Zach Taylor. We've got a full list.
They are losing on notably on the offense. CJ Uzama, their tight end.
That hurts.
And then 2 starters on the offensive line.
Oh yeah, you can afford that.
Good deal. Good deal.
Probably one of their best players, Jesse Bates, moving on to the defense, and then in their defensive backfield, they're losing Eli Apple, Vernon Hargraves, and Trey Flowers.
Vernon Hargraves, he was best known for running out on the field.
Dude, how about just the state of Florida taking such an L in the Super Bowl? Like, Jalen Ramsey gets cooked all over the place.
Cam Akers gets 12 yards.
Cam Akers 12 yards on like 100 carries. Freaking Vernon Hargraves running on the field. You're
celebrating.
You're in street clothes.
Celebrating an offensive touchdown. You're a cornerback. Yeah. Why are I mean, I could see if he got like somebody got a pick. I mean, during the 2 picks that the Rams threw, go and celebrate then. Why are you celebrating a touch with Joe Mixon when Joe Mixon throws the touch? It just didn't make any sense.
And probably one of their biggest performers from the Super Bowl, B.J. Hill. They're losing Larry Ogunjobi, B.J. Hill, and Josh Topu. But B.J. Hill was great in the run stopping game.
They're losing Ricardo Allen.
Yeah.
Darius Phillips. Auden Tate didn't do shit, so that's not really it. Jordan Evans.
Mike Thomas, Brandon Allen.
Jalen
Davis.
Mike Thomas and Auden Tate don't.
We
do
just
anything
naming names at this point. Clark Harris.
We're going all Dan Gonzalez.
Kevin Huber, their starting punter,
dude,
who Kevin Huber went to Cincinnati, was drafted to Cincinnati. Like it's a great story.
Yeah, I would think.
It sounds like a really short story.
It's a great story. You always tell me I need to slow down and not slow down, but tell my stories fast. So there you go. It was a short story.
He went to Cincinnati. He played it. Got drafted by Cincinnati. Great story.
Yeah, Jake McGowan brings up a good point. One of their offensive linemen that's a free agent is due to secure a big bag also. There are some big names out there too, like on the free agent markets on the offensive line side of things, so maybe they can make something happen. But, man, if I could tell you, I sent you guys the stat that I saw the other day. Bill Polian said it on a podcast. I forgot whose show he was on, but he compared Joe Burrow a lot to Andrew Luck, and really their styles are very close. Like the way they do the way they carry themselves. And he pulled up the numbers. I'm going to pull up the exact numbers that I sent you guys. But he had said, like, the numbers were so skewed, like, on how many times Joe Burrow has been sacked at this point in his career.
It's crazy. Like, the stat that they had going off that, they had opened up the Super Bowl talking about, like, the outrageous stats for the quarterbacks. Matt Stafford led the league in interceptions and
tied. He was tied with the lead.
Well, but
who was he tied with?
I don't remember. I'll look it up here in a second. And then Joe Burrow was the first quarterback to lead the league in being in sacks and still make it to the Super Bowl.
So it was on the Adam Schefter podcast. He said that Bill Polian was expressing concern. Andrew Luck, in his first 2 seasons and 32 games, got sacked 73 times. Joe Burrow, in 6 less games in his first 2 seasons, 26 games, 83 sacks. Jesus. So 10 less times in 6 less games. Or 10 more times in 6 less games. This dude's going to have a very short career if they don't figure this out.
Yeah.
They have. I mean, you're talking about a generational quarterback here.
I can say this: don't the teams get a certain bonus, like a certain size bonus, if they go to certain games, like the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl and stuff like that?
I want to say yes.
I think they do. So hopefully they use that money wisely.
Yeah,
and go out and pick. I mean, anybody that's anywhere close to decent on the free agent market, I don't want to see really them sign anyone. No one. Outside of, obviously, the punter, and get him back and maybe whoever they can afford. But the first thing, that offense is elite right now. They've got to go out and sign 5 or, I mean, really 3 is all they really need. I mean, honestly, you know, 3.
You can anchor it. You can find some nice pieces in the draft.
Right. So they should replace their, through the draft, they should replace all of their people that are leaving, their cornerbacks and all of them. And they should go out there and get some really nice veteran pieces. Their time is now.
True or false?
They've got to do it right now.
True or false? And I'm just going to spit this out there and you guys answer. If the Bengals go into next year with anything less than 5 new offensive linemen, it was a bad offseason.
Anything less than 5?
Anything less than 5. Like, not starters, period.
Oh, okay.
Period.
Like depth and everything. Okay.
Depth.
True.
Okay.
True. Yeah.
Like, we need to draft a backup to the backups at this point.
They have to do exactly what the Chiefs did last year, going into last season, because we all were hooting and hollering and raving saying they won the offseason with their revamped offensive line.
Yep.
And it showed this year.
Yeah, he didn't get sacked nearly as much. He wasn't on the run like he was. They just kind of fell apart there at the end.
I'll get grilled for this, but Kansas City needs the number 1 receiver.
They do need one.
Yeah. I mean, I like Tyreek Hill, but
Tyreek Hill, like we said, he's a Deebo Samuel type.
Figured him out.
And it's only going to take a certain amount of time before they well, the problem is they don't give the ball to him like they do Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
Deebo Samuel is also much bigger than Tyreek Hill is. So he
was
can take those hits.
He was very hit or miss this year.
Tyreek?
Very.
Yeah. So the Bengals. I mean, the AFC is just stacked, though. I mean, that's going to be the biggest problem
young quarterbacks.
With young quarterbacks, with young talent everywhere.
Yeah.
You're just talking about, like, how if the Steelers get their quarterback situation figured out, you got to play against TJ Watt twice a year.
See, but I don't think that really matters. Somebody like Burrow, that offense, that they have a great running back. They have 3 really good wide receivers, 1 really great. I mean, that could be great wide receiver. I mean, we could be saying Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in the game here very shortly,
very soon.
And Joe Mixon is a good running back. They replace that offensive line, get a couple of pieces on defense, and they're right back in this. So it doesn't really matter how good everybody else is.
I think it does, though, because from a team aspect, you have to look at everything. And, like, they're in the AFC North, so going into next year, the Ravens are going to be healthy again. Like, you're gonna have that.
The
team.
Ravens need pieces.
Everybody needs pieces. I mean, you could.
Yeah, but the Ravens aren't even a complete team. They have a quarterback who can't throw a ball.
Right, but I mean that style though.
They're figuring that style out though.
They're going to be healthy though. Is
sure,
what I'm saying.
Sure.
And you're going to have a whole new quarterback on the Steelers. Who knows what they're going to do? I mean,
we have no idea who they're going to
We always
grab,
do these fantasy bookings and everything. So, but they might end up with Nobody. They might end up with freaking
Mason Rudolph
starting next year. So
Right.
then this conversation's irrelevant at that point. But maybe they do go get Jameis. Maybe they do get Deshaun Watson, and then
Jimmy G.
and then all of a sudden you look at the Steelers like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah.
Like the AFC North's the best division in football. How are the Bengals going to get out of it? One thing that's good for them is that there's 7 playoff spots.
Right. They don't have to win their
Right.
division.
Or they don't have to. And I would say in the AFC from here going forward, you don't win 10 games, you ain't making it. I mean, the
Just
Dolphins,
ask
2 years in a
ask the
row,
Dolphins, yeah.
10 wins, 9 wins, they didn't get in.
Right.
It ain't going to work, man. It ain't going to do it. You got to win 10 games.
The NFC is a different story.
Yeah, you can win.
I feel like I could go and lead a team. I think me and Jake McGowan. Jake McGowan knows all about putting teams together. So
Yeah.
let's just me and Jake McGowan go out there.
6-11 might win the NFC South next year.
Dude, the NFC is a different ballgame because, like, there's rumors that Aaron Rodgers is leaving. So if there's no way Green Bay sends him to any NFC team. So if he goes to the AFC, who's the best team in the NFC North? The Vikings?
I would say they're probably best suited.
You've got the Cowboys who can't win a game, who can't beat a team over 500 with a 500 record or better.
Oh, Marcus.
And then you've got in the NFC, is it the 49ers still? Do you think Russ comes back and has a better year? Do you think Kyler Murray stays in Arizona?
See, and I think that's another one. No, I think he should go play baseball. Kyler Murray, that is.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be a good move for him.
I think he should. But the 49ers are very interesting as well because I called from the very beginning that they were very dangerous. If they're healthy,
Oh yeah.
they are very dangerous. But next year, getting rid of Jimmy G and going all in just doesn't make any sense to me with him. I don't understand. I don't understand it.
I don't either. Which you were talking about Vegas odds earlier. Some of the randomness people who were nominated for, well, not nominated, but the most recent highest people who were getting the bets placed on them for the 2022 NFL MVP was Trey Lance, and Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Trey Lance.
How would Trey Lance go out and go get an MVP this year?
Why? I mean,
for going into next year.
Because
No, I know, but that's what I'm
this-
saying.
yeah.
We're
Weren't
past
they-
the Super Bowl's past.
I got you.
This year.
I was just making sure.
I'm going to pull up the stats, but weren't they 0-2 in his starts?
I don't know. To me, there's no way he gets. There's no way he gets that.
Yeah, they were
1-1.
Who are they against?
I'm about to pull up the full. Y'all keep going.
Oh, okay.
But it was just something random. Like I was scrolling on Facebook earlier today, and it was them talking about the different sports betting apps and who could get what. And these are two of the most highest rated people who are putting money on right now to win next year's MVP. And one of the comments
It's a
was
waste
like,
of money right there.
yeah, like you really going to put it on Tom Brady? Like
Just
so
retired.
many people are putting it on Tom Brady, saying, "Nah, we don't believe it. We're still going to put it on him." I'm like, dude.
Now, would he come back? Sure. I'm not saying that he wouldn't, but because he left the door open about as much as anybody else ever has. But I think
did,
the difference
didn't he?
is I just don't think. I mean, if he doesn't go and actually do a full offseason and everything else like he normally would, he's not going to come out there ready.
He started against Houston in Week
Okay.
16.
One of the worst, probably the worst team next year.
250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick.
Yeah, that was basically Jimmy G numbers.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 touchdowns and a pick. So that's not any better than Jimmy G. And he only doesn't show his rushing stats on this one. Of course it doesn't.
Because I mean that's one thing he's gonna bring that Jimmy G doesn't.
And they won that game 23-7. And then he lost to Arizona. And in that game, he had 192 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. So his 2 starts, he was 2-2 with like 400 yards. So, I mean, same as Jimmy G, except maybe he adds a little bit more. Okay, here you go. 16 carries for 89 yards in that game. There's something Jimmy G can't do. And then 8 for 31 in the San Francisco game.
And
Yeah.
he is on San Francisco.
Or in the Houston game.
Oh, okay.
It's they have him in the wrong spot here for some reason. 8 for 31 in that game. He had 38 carries for 168 yards. That's 4.4 yards per attempt. Not that great for a rushing quarterback.
It's only 2. I mean, yeah, but you also have to temper that because of every time he would come in, everybody knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
this isn't college football from 06 to 08 when Tim Tebow would come in and run the ball and everybody knew it, but they couldn't do anything about it. This is the NFL. I mean, it
looks like he either had health issues or Shanahan's an idiot. Because he only appeared in like less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games last year out of their 17 games.
See, I was asking a friend who's a 49ers fan, and he said that he believes that he's ready. And I don't really understand how that's even possible now.
What? Huh?
Yeah,
How do you look at that and tell me he's okay? Whatever. Hey, as long as your fan base says he's ready, he's ready, right?
He's ready to go.
He's ready to go.
Fair.
But Jake McGowan does bring up a good point. He said, I think the Brady Bucks effect happens to the Rams this offseason. Smaller deals for guys wanting a ring.
Yeah, but are they that put together?
They're not losing that much. If you fix the offensive line and bring back,
They really aren't losing. I mean, you're talking about going and getting one more wide receiver over OBJ, and
or you might even just keep.
what if
Robert
they went out and
Woods.
got Devontae Adams?
Oh, that offense.
The problem is they don't have that much money to deal with. That's
Yeah.
the issue. So they're not going to be able to go out and just sign anybody they want. But they could make a trade for
Look at Trey.
whoever.
You know how he says F them picks. I mean, look at it. It worked. Got a Super Bowl.
If it's worth it, if you win a Super Bowl, it's worth it.
The good thing
they
for
went
them
all
is-
in on Stafford for a reason.
Yeah.
Not for just one Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, they didn't do it for one. I know you know they didn't do it for one.
No.
The interesting thing is I have Cooper Kupp's contract coming up here. Maybe it might be after next year. I mean, I
Right.
would
So
imagine-
that's why I agree with Jake, because now you go and sign people for 1-year deals
yeah.
and do maybe mutual options for
the
next
good-
year so that you can actually go back and get Cooper Kupp.
You know, the Bucks returned every starter from the year before, and I mean they didn't really go too far, but the Rams are, I would think, in a better position right now than they were, because I mean they're not losing the big, like they don't have to re-sign as much as Tampa Bay had to do.
No.
Like everybody had to sign 1 or 2 year deals. Like right now you just got to convince Von Miller to come back, if you really even have to do that, because there's other people out there. Von Miller,
Especially right now, they're celebrating right now, and he's on Aaron Donald's team.
yeah.
I mean, you possibly have one of, like, you have a generational edge rusher.
Maybe
you have a generational Aaron Donald,
Maybe
and you have a
the best
generational
defensive tackle of all
cornerback.
time. I don't know where Aaron Donald's going to come into that conversation with like Reggie White and some like other guys, but
All those other defensive tackles.
guys. Vince Wilfork, that's the guy I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
You think of like all-time defensive tackles, but
Well,
Aaron Donald's got to be at the
The
top.
crazy thing is, like, you think of a nose tackle, you think of a defensive tackle, you think of this big, huge human being. You look at Aaron Donald, and he's just this stout-looking dude. Just where did you come from? What factory did you come out of?
Pat McAfee said this about Brock Lesnar, and I think it works for Aaron Donald too, because like if the aliens came and they were like, send me your best warriors, we want to fight them, like I would send Brock Lesnar and I would send Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Like, here you go.
Have at him.
Have at him. Good luck.
Brock Lesnar is a scary dude.
Yeah, very.
Two things from Josh Tucker. He said, anyone want Taysom Hill? I've already replied, they can have him for a bag of peanuts. And Josh, he's also said,
Yeah, there you go. I don't have a starting quarterback, but let's go ahead and get rid of the second string quarterback.
Yeah, they can have
It's smart. That's
You
just
can
like a
have Taysom.
Saints fan. It's just like a Saints fan.
You
Just
can
be
have
an idiot.
Taysom. Send him.
Imagine him on the Rams. What would that open up?
Oh, dear God. And he also says Rams got to replace Eric Weddle.
They obviously do, because he was their leading tackler for the playoffs, which is
Right.
probably not good. Which, by the way, did you see the injury he played through?
His shoulder.
His shoulder?
It was like his pec.
Yeah.
Not a torn, but a bruised, like a dislocated pec.
Yeah.
And
Dislocate a pec.
Something like it was.
it was something weird.
Ruptured, maybe.
Ruptured pec.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But
Jesus,
still
that sounds even worse than a.
Played the whole game. And led
Played the
team
whole
in
game.
tackles.
Well,
It was
he
his-
got hurt when he
It was
dove
during
at that
the first,
dude's
during the first
feet
drive. He got up
by
and
Joe
he was
Mixon's
like,
feet.
yeah.
And
And
that's
they
what you're gonna
already
run
had
into.
arm issues because he already had his bicep wrapped.
Yeah.
So he had his bicep wrapped, and then he went out there and hit somebody on his left side. So his right bicep and his left pec. And then he went out there and just manhandled everyone.
That's the stuff you're going to run into now. Like, you're taking away these high tackles, which player safety, we all get it, right? But there's been so many more knee injuries. There's going to be more shoulder injuries from guys trying not to lead with their helmet. I don't know. Taylor Rapp was injured as well. Oh, Taylor Rapp didn't even play?
Taylor Rapp, no, that's why they got Weddle.
And you still went to your knee and proposed after the game like you did something? Bro, I would have just done it at the parade. Oh, Taylor.
Did you see Jake McGowan said, I'm sending Rodrigo Blankenship in my battle as well as Becky Lynch?
Blankenship. Hey, I'm just lining up I'm lining up footballs. Kick the ship.
Kick the shit.
Just having him and McPherson. Pop, pop,
Yeah,
pop,
there you go.
We're launching, baby. And as far as covering our... What happened to Streamlabs? Did we lose our stream over there?
I'm looking at it.
We're still up?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what happened to my display just now, so hopefully we're still live. I just went dark over here.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Okay,
we're
it
good
came
to go.
back up.
Yeah. Oh, it went black
out again. Oh, boy.
Yeah. It's back up again.
Boy.
God bless us,
Now,
everyone.
what we are going to do is we're going to shift a little bit away from Super Bowl stuff, and
Which team's more likely to make it back next year? And that's all I want to know. It could be short answer.
Oh, but that's not a short answer. Just based on what all the Bengals are losing on defense, I'm going to have to go Rams. The Rams aren't losing enough to make them, under
I
that.
agree. NFC's more wide open anyway.
Very true.
NFC's definitely a lot more wide
Very
open.
true. Yeah.
So we all say Rams.
Rams.
Okay. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. And also if you have any suggestions on computer monitors. All right. So what you got over there? Shift this conversation. Where
Yeah,
do you
we're
wanna go?
going to shift it over to a little bit about baseball.
Yeah.
The pitchers and the catchers were supposed to report on Monday. Was it Monday?
Yesterday. Actually.
Yesterday.
Tuesday.
Yesterday. So
Golly,
sad day. I had a bad day.
I
had a bad day.
I was just depressed all day. Like
Yep.
when I saw that. Thank you, Jeff Passan. Is that his name?
Yeah, passing. Yeah.
Passan,
Or I don't know how you
Passan.
say it, but
Passan. If you guys have the pronunciation, please type it in the comments. PA dash.
Yeah.
I thought it was Passan.
That's what I said.
I have no idea what his name
I
is.
think it's Jeff Passan, right?
I thought it was Passan.
I've always said passing.
new conversation.
But whatever.
Okay.
Buster Olney. Anyway, when he posted that, man, I was just like, oh, golly, man, because this is like, we're missing so much right now. Spring training is supposed to start in 10 days. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
There's zero chance.
Nope.
They say there's no way we don't get 162 games, but I'm looking at it now like, how do you not delay the season at this point?
Yeah, when we were on ESPN, you and I, Kyle, they asked us that question, and I think they're going to have to, especially because I think for hitters typically it takes some games to actually get their timing and everything else. Now, what I do hope is that whatever they do, if they don't postpone it and you just have a shorter spring training, maybe those spring training games are going to mean a little more.
Yeah, that'd be
people
nice.
actually out there swinging away for 3 at-bats instead of 1 at-bat in the first game or whatever, something stupid like that. But I also like spring training because, to me, it's not like the NFL. It's not like you get to see guys that are not even going to be on the team. This is guys that are in your farm system.
Yeah,
ones
this is
that
the future.
Yeah, this is your future players up there, and you can I like Trey Harris. I mean, I saw Trey Harris a few years ago, and now all of a sudden he's in the top 100 prospects, and he's knocking at the door of being on the Atlanta Braves 25-man roster.
And I love how in spring training, and they do it during the All-Star game too, but they did it with Freddie Freeman a couple maybe last year, the year before, miking him up, and they're literally asking him questions and he's just happy-go-lucky, just having a good old time.
I really feel like that could happen more in baseball.
Yeah, I love it
too. I feel like that would make it a much funner game.
There's a
much
good way to
more
spice it
fun
up.
game.
Like you put it.
I've done that twice now. I've noticed.
So gooder. You're
It's
getting
so
gooder.
gooder.
You're getting gooder at podcasting. You're kidding. To answer Josh Tucker, where does Juan Soto go to decline 350? I don't think he declined the 350. We talked about this on the phone today. I think he more declined the 13 years.
Yeah, obviously nobody turns down $350 million. But I think, and this is Kyle and I disagreed on this, but I think it's because annual salary is $27 million on that. that would actually place him at like 30th or 25th or somewhere in that area of players. I think he's a better hitter than I would say. I mean, he's top 5 hitter right now. That's my opinion. I think Juan Soto is a top 5 hitter right now. He's better than Anthony Rendon. Now, the only difference is Anthony Rendon has defense on his side, where Juan Soto is not exactly a liability on defense, but he's not known for his defense. He's going to be a 320 hitter.
Yeah.
To me, it kind of strikes me as he wants to keep his options open to
he definitely wants to see free agency.
See what free agency and who comes calling.
He's 22.
Because with the Nationals right now, are you going to win in the next 5 years?
I hope not. I freaking hate the Nationals.
We're running through every team in the NL East pretty much. So the Nationals got theirs, the Braves got theirs. We saw the Phillies get theirs. Marlins got theirs. Now we're just waiting on the damn Mets, which hopefully that
never happens. I hope it never happens. But yeah, I mean, because they just signed Francisco Lindor to probably the most ballooned contract I've ever seen for somebody who really never deserved it. And I think that he did turn down the 13 years. He wants to see free agency because he's going to get more than that.
Yeah,
I think he's going to get more money, less time. Yeah, because think about it. At 13 years, that puts him at 35 years old. That means this is the only contract he's ever going to get. If you get a 10-year contract, he's 32 at the same time as Freddie Freeman. And if he's still putting up Freddie Freeman's great in defense, but it's his hitting. I mean, it's all baseball. It's your hitting. You're not going to get a contract like Freddie Freeman wants if he wasn't a 310 hitter.
Well, now you might get a better contract right now.
Yeah, DH.
If you wait, because now we're going into that universal DH.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter as much, and that's one thing that they're actually saying about Freddie Freeman going to the Braves still is that the Braves now no longer have that to worry about.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about him being 38 not being able to play first base. You can actually sign him and give him the 6 years, give him the $180 million, and tell him to go sit over there for as long as he can. And
until Zach Lesnar, he put the pronunciation of Passan in the comments as pass-an. So Passan. Passan.
Yeah, I don't think that helps us whatsoever, does it?
It doesn't. No, I don't know. I need the copy and paste.
I guess maybe it's the way that you're saying it then. Passan.
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 We'll Google it after. And
we're going to have to Google it. Oh, you know what? No, screw that. We're here now.
We're here now.
Yeah. All right. Hold on.
While we're here, I do want to say congratulations to Mr. Josh Tucker.
Hey.
Yeah. Yes. Hey, Tuck. Welcome to the best club in the world. Fatherhood, especially like having a boy, bro. Like that life is.
Tell us about it, Kyle, because the two guys over here don't have any.
It's a great life. Let me tell you, man, because it's basically you're raising a young version of you, and you get to do.
Did you almost run into Rhodes too?
What do you mean?
The first time I ever met Carson.
Oh, my
the first time I ever met Carson, Rachel brought him to Bose, and we were about to start recording, and Carson just ran out from underneath the how he fit underneath the railing, I'll never know. But he fit right out underneath it, and I guess he just wanted to go touch every car that was passing down Thomas Drive.
All right, turn up the USB. Let's see if the listeners can hear this one.
Jeff Passan.
Passan.
Who said that? I said Passan. I'm celebrating as if it was me and it wasn't even.
I think you had it.
Passan?
Yeah, you said Passan.
You said Passan. I said Passan.
Oh,
Jeff
yeah.
Passan.
Screw both of y'all.
Yeah.
I did something.
We're making a rap, baby.
Yeah.
Jeff Passan. Jeff Passan.
Oh, Jeff Passan.
She said it that way. Yeah, idiot. Jeff Passan. Oh, I don't know what's going on with the Streamlabs, but I'm glad everybody can still see us because there's some funky stuff happening over here.
Go Tigers, Heather. As one of my friends from back in Tennessee, she commented saying, "Go Tigers, let's go, baby."
You really don't have it. How do y'all? I don't understand how there's two people from Tennessee that are both LSU fans.
See, David Hayes says Passan,
but he's wrong.
But
it's
he said
Passan.
Pussin,
because with a U, Pussin. That's how I read it. You tell me that's any different.
Oh man,
you tell me that's different. you read that and tell me that's anything.
Well, obviously, he was trying to get you to say something stupid.
Thank you,
can
David.
all agree that we're ready for baseball to come back.
Yeah, especially if we just spent the last 10 minutes talking about Jeff Passan.
Passing. That's going to be our story. Thank God for the goat of goat conversations, because otherwise we'll be sitting here going, all right, we going Otani? Otani. Otani.
Hey, so that is one. I'm glad you said that, because our next segment starting next week.
Next week, yeah.
On this very show on Wednesdays, we are splitting this. We're partnering up with ESPN of Northwest Florida. What is it? 104.3.
104.3.
Hey,
104.3.
yeah. So we're meshing with them a little bit. Dave Hayes is going to be on the show a couple of times over here on Wednesdays. We're going to be on the show over there on Mondays or Fridays or something like that every now and again. Thursdays sometimes, but we're not doing anything like go to goats wise.
No, that's true.
But Thursdays we'll be doing some stuff. I mean, so we've kind of got ourselves a nice little partnership. So you guys join up on our Right On group.
Yeah, the Wright Sports Group.
Right,
WRIGHT Sports Group. Get in there.
Yeah, because we post a lot in there now. Now we can do polls, and that's honestly we're going to post every matchup on our bracket of the GOAT of GOATs on that sports group.
Yep.
And we will post it, ESPN will post it, and we're trying to get you guys to make a poll. We're going to make a poll, and you guys vote on that poll. We'll get our 4 voices, myself, Drew, Kyle, Marcus, and Dave, actually. So 5 voices.
Old school.
Old school will be on there on Mondays and Fridays.
Yeah.
And so we're going to get our voices, what we think, and we're also going to vote as well, but the fan vote is what really counts.
Yep.
So
fan vote, and like just don't pop in there and vote. Let's get some explanations in them comments.
well, and we're also going to vote. We're not just going to put LeBron James versus Michael Jordan.
No,
We're going to put we're going to put their accolades in there.
Accolades,
We're going to put all of their achievements and stuff like that, so you can actually make a decision based on somebody that you may not know about.
Here's something funny. Like just to tease a first round matchup, there is a GOAT debate in the first round.
Yes, there is.
A direct GOAT debate, like direct sports GOAT debate in a play-in game. Really? Like, okay, so the way we did this, we took 72 names. We sat up here for about an hour after our show a couple weeks ago. We wrote down 72 names. Nick's got them right there. I'm sure you can read them because our cameras are very high quality.
4K. Read
4K.
every one of them. McGowan, I'm going to hold this up there for 10 seconds. I want you to take a picture of it and write them all down.
It's a blinding light.
We put them in a
Oh, I'm not even in it all the way.
we put the names in a randomizer, and we randomly seeded them, so we didn't seed them. Like, we just wrote in every name, and then we let it randomly
don't
happen.
read too much into the seedings, because the seedings don't really mean anything.
The number, you will not see numbers at all.
Oh, okay, that's true.
You're not, because they're not going to see the actual bracket. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm very excited. It gives us some good off-season content, which in our world is very important because, as you guys know, we just sat here talking about Jeff Passan's name for Jeff Pussin's number for 10 minutes, and I think we've said it like 25 different times. So, anything else before I get on my rant here?
Have at her, kiddo.
Well, so we have Kyle with the right to rant today.
My turn.
And this is going to be something, and I'm going to, before I let you have it, we talked about it, and I'm going to give you a little tease here. All-Star counts will not be a part of our GOAT of GOATs debate because of this right here.
So the NBA All-Star Game is this weekend, and this was supposed to be my right to rant last week, but we had some issues. I had the stomach flu. These guys didn't want to get sick, so I sent them to ESPN instead of doing our show. It's natural, man. It's just stuff that happens when you're grown adults with real-life jobs, and this is your side gig. Just straight up. So we didn't do a show last week, so this was supposed to be fresh. The NBA All-Stars are 100% fan-voted. 100%. From starters to reserves. And I think it's bullshit. Because James Harden is an all-star this year. Damn well doesn't deserve it. Kevin Durant's an all-star and isn't even playing. I mean, I know he's not playing, so they like gave his spot away pretty much. Like, so when they named the all-star reserves, they already had somebody. But they had that spot filled for Kevin Durant, who's been out for like a month now. Chris Middleton's an all-star. Chris Middleton. It's popularity. It's bullcrap. I hate it. Here are some guys that deserve to be all-stars over James Harden and Chris Middleton right now. Jared Allen, who did get in now, plays for Cleveland. He did end up getting in just because of James Harden can't play. So he got in, last-minute reserve. Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics is probably the most deserving non-All-Star in the NBA. But not a household name, right? So he's not an All-Star. And Tyler Hero, Miami's the number 1 seed in the East. Yeah. Miami's the number 1 seed in the East. Jimmy Butler's an All-Star, but not Tyler Hero. And I would argue, like, I know stats are going to... Oh, that hurt. I know the stats are going to back up Jimmy Butler, but when you talk about why Miami is a number 1 seed, I would choose Tyler Hero to be an All-Star instead of Jimmy Butler. Me.
2 Miami guys.
Yeah.
Man,
I know.
this
I'm
almost
saying,
sounds
like,
biased.
If I had to pick somebody from Miami, well, Jimmy Butler is an All-Star.
Okay.
Like, if I had to pick somebody from the Miami Heat to represent us in the All-Star game, it would be Tyler Hero because he's the reason we're there. He's the these guys have all missed games except for Tyler Hero. He's the 6th man of the year.
Because he plays 22 minutes or something like that, right?
Yeah, but
he also like averages 22 points.
Yeah, he's 6th man of the year right now, front runner by a lot.
Yeah.
He's not an all-star, but he was the 3rd on those names because Jaylen Brown's more deserving. I mean, hell, you could say Miles Bridges from Charlotte is more deserving. I mean, Charlotte's having a great season. And I also hate how they were talking about these guys, and they were talking about Jaylen Brown, and they were saying the Celtics just aren't good enough right now. Dude, who gives a shit? All-star is supposed to be the one thing in these sports that is not a team accolade. Like MVP, you can have a great season. You ain't winning MVP if your team don't make the playoffs. And that's in the NFL.
Unless it's
college
baseball.
football, you ain't winning the Heisman if your team goes 5-7. You're just not. Baseball is the only sport where it's kind of like you're winning the MVP for having a crappy season. But like the All-Star is like, that's your one chance to shine as an individual. And we're letting team success hold certain guys out. I just don't agree. And there's my rant.
I like it because it's just like that in MLB. It's just like that in every single sport. It just depends on, I saw one year where the Cubs had like a halfway decent season and they had like 6 representatives. They had like almost every starting position.
Look how many All-Stars the Cardinals had last year. They didn't even make their run until after the break.
Right.
You kidding me?
Right.
Was
So
Yachty really an All-Star?
I don't know. Everybody said that he was the best catcher, didn't he? Well, they were mad that he didn't win the Gold Glove, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even though his stats did show that he should have won the Gold Glove.
He should have won the Gold Glove.
Yeah,
he should have been up there, right?
Yeah.
But each to his own. I just don't like the way it's ran in the NBA, especially. I feel like right now,
So it's 100% fan vote,
top to bottom. And like Eddie Rivera just said, by the way, Eddie, I don't really play softball too often, like anymore. But I have learned enough in my life to know that the ball goes in a glove, dog. Like, my man, I'm so... Dude, there's the joke, because I'm going to, like, rip myself here. There's not a chance in hell I'm getting back on the field after taking a ball to the face. So kudos to you. Like, so much respect for Eddie Rivera. I just had to give him that. And I know that man's out there.
You were going with something serious, and
I was wondering where you were taking that. I was like, are you about to propose to this man?
Yeah,
like, what are you doing?
I will.
He is a beautiful man.
He's good at taking balls to the face.
Yeah.
Love you, Eddie.
Love you, Eddie. You ready for that Peacemaker finale for tomorrow? I've been talking to Eddie every Thursday because he's like one of the only people I know that's been watching Peacemaker.
You told me to wait.
Yeah, because you don't have HBO Max.
I don't have HBO Max.
So get it when you can get the free trial.
I wish I had a friend that had it.
Same.
I'm on a friend's account, so you don't ask me.
hey, Eddie, if you don't mind, just type that login right there in the comment section real fast so I can watch. I'll call you every Thursday.
Yeah, and if you're worried about everybody else seeing it, just go to the Wright Sports Group. There's only 180 members. All right. Well, I think this is a good time to end the show. We had a great time today, guys. Thank you for supporting us as always. Make sure you guys are helping us out off the show, hitting the share button on our post, and just being active on our social media. Like when we post in the Wright Sports Group, give us some stuff, man. Give us some opinions. We appreciate it.
It's a discussion. Every bit of it. I mean, you should see my goat of goats It's all a discussion. Okay. So
Yeah.
once we go through all of these, it's all going to be an argument. I cannot wait for next week because all I am going to do is argue with everything y'all say.
I can't wait.
That is the only thing I am good at.
I thought that was the point of that. I thought that was the point of this whole thing.
I'm going to argue. I'm going to argue
Yeah.
everything.
Tomorrow on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, 4 to 6 afternoon underdogs. I'll be on there.
David
with
Hayes.
I'll be on there tomorrow. Looking forward to it.
Cares.
If you guys watch,
Should have been there last
we are gonna unveil. You wouldn't have wanted me. If you could have ran a microphone into the bathroom, it would have been great because I was feeling fine. But I was like, kind of like, that point, like maybe TMI for our viewers, but I was like not wiping anymore. I was
Just tapping
it.
What are you doing,
because it was
dude?
too painful, dude. It was.
Look, he was texting us as we were on air saying, I'm watching this straight from the porcelain throne. I mean,
Oh my goodness, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for watching, listening, whatever you guys do. We appreciate the love and support, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Thanks for listening to the Right On Sports Show. Find the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Or find the guys on YouTube at Right On Sports and hit that subscribe button to be notified when they go live. In the meantime, check them out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Right On Sports.